Devin Haney faced Regis Prograis in the ring on December 9th, and pros have reacted to the epic showdown. Here's what fighters thought of the fight.
Tank don't want to fight because if he really wanted to fight, then he would be trying to build up the fight instead of trying to knock it down, or try to say, oh, I'm only selling because of this or because of that. If he really wanted to fight me, he would be making it that it's a big fight and it's the best fight for boxing. But he only talk down on the fight. But like I said many times, they say everything but let's fight.
Nobody has outdid Devin. In terms of Tank's dance partners, you don't have to down the other fighter to validate what you are and what you bring to the table. Tank and his team have consistently lied to the people. They've created this narrative that because you make money or because you charge the people some astronomical money for a fight, that that the guy is going to lose because obviously what is it when the betting line doesn't even reflect as much money as that the guy is charging. So the message to all the fans: stop letting Tank and his team piss on your head and tell you it's rain with these fights, these insignificant fights. You know what I mean? They're saying it's for the culture. Devin represents the culture and represents boxing and what boxing should be and what boxing is.
Shakur Stevenson wasn't too happy about the fight being made, seeing how he thought Devin took the fight with Regis just to avoid fighting him. Shakur stated he felt like the fight with Regis was an easier fight. If he's got me in front of him and Regis in front of him, he feels like a fight with Regis would be an easier option. He's the guy that goes for a lot of easier options in his career. He'll fight a lot of people as soon as they have a bad performance. Then he's ready to get in the ring with them. I think that's the type of fighter that he is. He fought Lomachenko after Lomachenko had a bad performance against Jermaine Ortiz. Regis was just coming off a bad performance. I feel like that's what he likes to do. I honestly think that if you're a true champion and you have a close fight with somebody like he did with Lomachenko, you've got to run it back instead of running away from the smoke. If you're a true champion and you're who you say you are, you'll fight people at their best. Eddie Hearn was very happy with the way the fight was set up, and he thought that both sides of the fight were fairly simple.
When they won the fight, he looked over me in the 10th round and went. And listen, I like Bill, and they're simple, look, they're talking to us, they're talking to the Middle East, and I told them, if you want to fight in the Middle East, you better make us a big offer, and we'll consider that as well. It's not just a case of him coming on our show. I've said to Regis when we signed him, I have no problem letting him working with him to take a fight somewhere else, if it's life-changing opportunity, if it's massive money, if it's legacy, if it's everything. So we're flexible, and there's no excuses. You know, we're not here to talk about the other side of the street and politics and all that. If they want to fight, and then we have to go to another platform, if we have to go to another country, if it's the right option for Regis Prograis, we'll do it.
So there'll be a making bill before he leaves.
Yeah, I'm seeing Devin in New York next week.
Josh Taylor was excited for the fight, and he thought that Devin was going to be too much for Regis. Josh stated, "I think that's a great fight. They're two very good fighters. Obviously, I shared the ring with Prograis, and me and him had a good dust-up. I've not shared the ring with Haney, but I've met him a couple of times and saw him in training and stuff. He's very sharp. In my opinion, I just think that Devin Haney is a little bit too young, too fresh, too sharp." Mikey Garcia thought that people would be fairly surprised by how good this fight would be, and he thought that Devin would win. Mikey stated, "I think Haney versus Prograis is a much better fight than people think. A lot of people are counting out Regis. I think he has a very good chance. He's strong, dangerous, and Haney hasn't shown the best chin at times. He doesn't have the power either to keep Regis off, but he does have the boxing skills, so if he keeps it at a distance, jabbing and circling around, then I could see him winning a decision. But everything could change with one punch. Regis has that power. He's dangerous. He hits hard. You can see that his opponents feel the power." Bozy Ennis really liked Devin's style ahead of the fight, and he thought that it would help him out a lot.
His style. He's more of he's a good boxer, man. So I don't think that's will be a problem, because remember, he's still growing though too, and he's moving up in the weight. So I don't think it'd be a problem. I think that's gonna be a good fight. I mean,
now, he's not looked at as a big puncher.
Right.
But he's been at 135 his whole career, and like you said, he is growing.
Right.
So could we see a situation where Devin Haney punches harder at 140 pounds as opposed to 35?
No, I don't think nothing's going to change. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing's going to change. He probably still be the same. You know what I mean? And then it all depends on, like you said, to me, it all depends on who you're fighting. And Wichicombe's going to be right there. Prograis is going to be right there. So it might be a different situation, though.
How should Devin approach this fight?
Boxing, lateral movement, inside, outside, side to side, you know what I mean? Everything behind the jab. Time up when you got to time up, you know what I mean? Because remember, Prograis is a puncher. So, you know, it can be one punch that can land and take you out. So you got to be smart. You got to use that jab, everything behind the jab. Set your shots up, don't be there.
Pedro Diaz knew that this was going to be a good fight, and he thought it was a fairly competitive matchup. Pedro stated, "I've seen a lot of both of their fights. If Devin Haney works a lot on his mid and long-range tactics, he won't have much of a problem. However, Regis Prograis is also a really good, complete boxer. It's going to be a good fight." Paulie Malignaggi was yet another fighter who thought that the style matchup was going to be bad for Regis. Paulie stated, "You're as good as your last fight, of course, and I think that Prograis is getting a little older. Prograis struggles against guys that he's got to close the gap against, and I think that stylistically, Haney's legs are phenomenal and a big part of his boxing ability. Styles make fights, and I feel like no matter how good Prograis is and how effective he's been as a world-class, terrific fighter, I think that stylistically it doesn't blend well for him. Haney is a guy who's able to outbox him with a change of pace and a change of distance and a terrific jab. I feel like it's just a bad style for Prograis. He's not going to be able to win that fight." Speaking of styles, Teofimo Lopez tried to give Regis a little tip on how to handle Devin Haney. Teofimo stated, "For Regis, if he's listening right now, you have got to bully him, bro. He has pillow hands. Take the shots and whatever. You can put your head down and let him hit you on top of the dome and break his hand. Little shit like that, smart, dirty tactics are going to win that fight with him." Even fans such as Showbiz the Adult believe that Devin is more than ready for someone like Regis.
Regis Prograis got away with one. I think Zorya was robbed. I think he was robbed of the knockdown. And even Regis Prograis, even he said it was a knockdown.
Well, looking at it now, it looked like it was a knockdown, to be honest.
Shout out to Regis Prograis, all due respect. He just kept it real. Now look, a lot of people are down on Regis Prograis. Not me. I know styles make fights. We just saw it. Boots Ennis last fight. against Karen. Teofimo Lopez against Sandor Martinez. We keep seeing that style issue, and then we get down on the fighters. Let me tell you, counter punchers don't do well against fighters who move around a lot. Even if you're a counter puncher who let his hands go and then he counters. I'm not saying you don't beat that fighter, but you don't look good. It's just a style matchup issue.
Sergio Moraes really thought that Regis was going to come out on top, though. Sergio stated, "Putting me on the spot, I'd have to say right off the bat, Regis Prograis. He's a natural 140-pounder, smart, strong southpaw. The power's there, the style's there, the hunger's there, and ever since losing that fight in 2019 to Josh Taylor, Prograis's gone on 4 straight wins, 4 by knockout. The power is the deciding factor here, and Haney has already been shook at 135. Age doesn't matter because he hasn't physically been beaten, nor has Haney. It's a prime fight. I don't think moving up is avoiding Shakur Stevenson. Everyone is going to be avoiding Stevenson. It's the wrong style for everyone. Haney became undisputed by fighting one fighter pretty much, George Kambosos. But at 140 pounds, the belts are fractured, and Prograis is one of them, and he's a monster. When you move up in weight, the chin doesn't gain any muscle. When you're dehydrated, your punch resistance goes down. But if you're moving up to 140 and those others are coming down from 150 and one of them cracks you, how are you going to take that? Devin Haney had planned on knocking Regis out though, and he stated, "I'm gonna knock you out. You're gonna be the first somebody I ever knocked out." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.